Remember, list slices allow us to extract various parts of a sequence. We already used them to slice strings, and in many ways, all the rules applying to string slicing also apply to list slicing. The general syntax is this one. Let's say var1 5 to 10. So we have the name of the variable pointing to the string or to the list, followed by square brackets. Next, in between the brackets, we have a colon. On the left side of the colon, we can specify the index at which to start the slicing process, and then the slice will go up to, but not including, the index specified on the right side of the colon. Having that said, let's create a new list and do a couple of list slices. So we have list 3. What if we want to extract the first 3 elements of the list? These would be the elements positioned at indexes 0, 1, and 2, right? So the slice would start at index 0 and go up to, but not including, index 3. Let's write this. So list 3, starting at index 0, up to, but not including, index 3, indeed returns the first 3 elements of the list. Another way to extract the first 3 elements would be, and remember this from strings, not specifying the first index in between the brackets. So we would have list 3, colon 3, and indeed the result is the same. What about extracting a slice containing the following elements? Let's say 3, A, and B. This means we will have to start at index 2, which is the index of value 3, and go up to, but not including, index 5, which is the index of element C, right? So let's verify this by writing list 3, starting at index 2, up to, but not including, index 5. And indeed we have 3A and B returned. Now let's extract all the elements of this list, starting with element 3 and up to the end of the list. In this case, there's no need to enter the second index in between the brackets, so we have list 3, starting at index 2, colon, up to the end of the list. Now, in order to select the entire list using a list slice, do not include any indexes inside the brackets, just the colon, like we did for strings. So that would be just like this, and indeed we have the entire list returned. Now remember, we can also use negative indexes to slice a sequence, and negative means we are counting indexes from right to left. So list 3 of -1 would return the last element in the list, which is indeed C. List 3 of -2 will return B, and this is correct as well. Now to extract a slice containing the elements 3A and B using negative indexes this time, we would have to start the slice at 3's negative index, which is -4, because we have -1, -2, -3, -4, and go up to, but not including, C's negative index, which is -1. So let's see this in practice. List 3, starting at index -4, up to, but not including, index -1, and indeed we have 3A and B returned, which is correct. Now what about extracting the last 3 elements of list 3 using negative indexes? We should start at what index? Well, index -3, right? Because index -3 represents the third element when counting from right to left, starting at the end of the string. What would be the second index then? You guessed it, there isn't one. We go all the way to the end of the list, and that's it. So we have list 3, starting at index -3, up to the end of the string, and we have A, B, and C returned. What about a slice containing all the elements of the list minus the last 3 of them? Well, we just have to move index -3 to the right side of the colon, and that should do it, right? Let's check this. List 3, colon, -3, and indeed we have the elements of the list minus the last 3 of them. That's cool. The last 2 things I want to mention about list slices. First, using a step for the slicing process, like for example if you want to skip every second element of the list, then you will use 2 colons inside the square brackets, and then the step you want to consider. In our case, this is 2. So let's try it. List 3 of : 2, and we get 13 MB, which is correct. Secondly, if you want to see the list in reversed order using list slices, you can also use a step. This time its value will be -1 because you want to start with the last element in the list, right? So list3 of ::(-1) returns the list in reversed order. Okay, so that's about it with lists. They are one of the most frequently used data type in Python, and whenever you have doubts or whenever you want to revisit a topic regarding lists, please feel free to watch any of these lectures again.